Man, it seems like every day that passes, there's a new story that comes out about CJ Stroud. And I know it's got to be frustrating for both him and his family alike. Let's talk about it today on the One Carolina Show. Today's situation is very interesting. When you listen to what Brady Quinn said, and you couple that with what a few days ago Mike Lombardi said about CJ being hard to coach, sometimes you want to assume that where there's smoke, there's fire. But is that really the case in this situation? Let's take a listen to what Brady Quinn said here in contrast and listen to the whole statement, because there were a few people that came after him on Twitter about this. And so context is key. So let's listen to the entire statement to see what we pull away from it.
Not necessarily where he goes a first overall pick, but some concern or thought that he might drop in the draft. If Houston passes on him at number 2 or no one trades up with Houston to take them, where does he end up going? And the interesting thing about that is I think there's a few things you could point to as some concerns that teams have. The first is, his accuracy and obviously his level of play adjusted when he was under pressure. It wasn't the same number, same output that we saw. You'd expect that, but he had a much more dramatic drop off through the course of his career when he was under pressure, under duress, as compared to when he was playing from a clean pocket. And so you might want to try to draw some conclusions from that.
And to be honest, that's a fair point. One of the things that I've pointed out quite a few times as a major concern with me with CJ Stroud was the drop off under pressure. It's not that he's not accurate, because from a clean pocket, there is nobody more accurate. The thing is that what does he do under pressure? That is a concern. So that's legitimate in context, of course. Let's keep going.
However, that being said, he saved his best game for last, played great under pressure versus Georgia. And so you're probably contemplating, is it the body of work or is his ability and what he will be what we saw versus Georgia? The other thing is everyone always talks.
Another point I've made consistently on the channel, so I'm kind of debunking some of the things that I've said about CJ Stroud, as some people, have, obviously called me out for bias, which is fair. But the Georgia tape, is what we saw versus Georgia an anomaly, or is that the normal CJ Stroud? Did he just not play up to par some of the rest of these games? You go back and watch some of the Iowa tape and other games where when the pressure was on, he did, struggle a bit. But then when you watch Georgia, when the pressure was on, he looked fantastic. But it's still something to think about. Let's keep going.
Talks about it, the talent he's throwing to, the system that he's in. A lot of quarterbacks have put up stats and good numbers in Ryan Day's system. Great offensive line that's going to have one tackle, maybe both drafted in the first round, 3 of his offensive linemen drafted. So there's a lot of thought that he played with a lot of talent, and maybe that played a role in it as well. And then there's some other stuff about interviews and maybe, for example, the Manning Passing Academy. I've been told that, he committed to it the night before, just kind of ghosted him, didn't show up. That's football royalty. And when you do that, that's going to kind of set off some alarms for people of like, hey, man, that's not how you conduct yourself, especially around the Manning family or just in general if you're going to be a franchise quarterback. So, look, I still view him as the second quarterback that should be taken in this draft class. He's the most accurate quarterback in this draft class. He showcased the athleticism and ability. Anytime I've been around the kid, he's been an upstanding young man who's grown and matured into the leader that I think NFL teams are looking for. So, some of that stuff. And as far as the system he plays and all the talent he plays around, he can't help that. He just can deliver the ball like he has and put up the numbers that he did. So I think he'll be the number 2 quarterback taken, but there is some talk right now, and maybe it's smoke screens, who knows, that maybe some of the other teams are saying, well, wait a second, if Richardson has a higher ceiling, maybe he makes more sense for us to take if we can't have a guy like Bryce Young that we feel more confident about in his processing and decision-making.
2 takeaways. Number 1, I am glad that we are in the position where we don't have to necessarily worry about this, because we do have an opportunity to take what is mostly the consensus number 1 pick in this draft. But here's the second thing. Context was key in this situation, and we got to see the true context of what the statement was that Brady Quinn made. Brady Quinn did indeed, as he mentioned on Twitter, point out that CJ Stroud was his QB2. But Brady Quinn also put something out there that was not verified, something that was told to him. And that is a major problem for me. And that's why people like Robert Griffin, people like Ryan Clark came after him as a result of this. These are the kind of things that you're not just worried about tanking somebody's draft stock. You're talking about somebody's character. CJ Stroud is very much aware that the Mannings are football royalty. And when you're coming into a specific business, you got to play by the rules. I know some people would say, like, who cares? It's the Mannings. Who cares about that or whatever? Like, nobody has to put them on a pedestal. I saw Ryan Clark say that. But again, when you are playing the game, you play by the rules. And we see the on the clock special. I saw that on TV. I did notice, and it was kind of weird that CJ Stroud was not on that special. And I thought that was interesting. But who knows whether the truth is that or not? I think really to clear this up, and I don't know that this will happen, but I think Peyton, Eli, Archie are super high character guys. And if this is indeed a thing, especially as it's become a story, as Dove Kleiman has continued to tweet about this and others have gotten into the conversation, so much so this made it all the way to TMZ, I think that this is something that one of them will likely clear up. I'm going to go a step further. I think it's something that they should clear up. And the reason is because, like I said, you're not just concerned about this guy's draft stock. This guy has family members. He's got brothers and sisters. He's got people that care about him who are watching this, seeing these stories. People who might even, dare I say, be challenged personally in their walks of life about this kind of stuff, even though it makes no sense at all for them to even have to answer for it for him. But furthermore, to impugn a guy's character like this, like the smoke that you received, Brady Quinn, in my opinion, was deserved. Now, if it comes out that this is true, then we all got to walk it back. But until then, if the source is verified, but other people are saying that it's not true, then somebody's got to come out with the truth about the situation, because I'm going to be honest with you. For a guy as high character as this is, I don't think this is fair. But you know what? In a lot of ways, that's life. Again, CJ Stroud, to me, has my support. I think that he can be a great quarterback at the next level. But tell me what you think. Make sure to hit the comment button. Make sure to comment, hit the like button, subscribe button, and bell notification so you never miss a video. This is John from the One Carolina Show. 7 days away from the draft, guys. Keep pounding.